Christmas Eve, 1945. Fayetteville, West Virginia. The Sodders were preparing to celebrate the holiday season, but before the night was over, 5 of their children would vanish, seemingly without a trace. The Sodder family lived in this quaint Appalachian town, seemingly far removed from the chaos of World War II, which had ended just a few months earlier. George and Jenny Sodder, Italian immigrants pursuing the American dream, worked hard to build a comfortable life for their 10 children. But what happened to their children that night would ignite decades of heartbreak, unanswered questions, and theories that even now defy belief. George Sodder, who later adopted the name Sodder, was an ambitious man. Born in Sardinia, he immigrated to the United States as a teenager, chasing what so many dreamed of at the time, a better life. Jenny Cipriani, also from Italy, shared his determination. Together, they built not only a home, but a legacy of resilience, love, and tireless work. By 1945, the Sodders had 10 children. The house was always bustling with energy, from the youngest child, Sylvia, just 2 years old, to the eldest, John, who helped his father with the family's coal trucking business. Despite their success, not everyone in Fayetteville welcomed the Sodder family. Questions about George's political beliefs, which were critical of Benito Mussolini, had stirred tension among some members of the local community. But nothing could have prepared the Sodders for what transpired on Christmas Eve, 1945. December 24th was a joyful evening. The Sodder children were wrapping up their Christmas plans. Maurice, 14, Martha, 12, Louis, 9, Jenny, 8, and little Betty, just 5, begged to stay up late to play with their new toys. Jenny agreed, letting the younger children remain downstairs while the rest of the family retired to bed. At 1 a.m., Jenny was jolted awake by a strange noise. Later, she would describe it as a heavy thump followed by a rolling sound. Concerned, she checked the house. Everything seemed fine, and she returned to bed. But within minutes, smoke began seeping through the walls. The Sodder home was ablaze. George, Jenny, and 4 of their children managed to flee, but 5 of the children never made it out. Maurice, Martha, Louis, Jenny Jr., and Betty were trapped inside, or so it seemed. George attempted to use his ladder to save his children, but it was missing. He tried to start his trucks to move them closer to the house, but neither would start, despite working perfectly the day before. Even the phone lines to call for help had been cut. By dawn, the Sodder home was reduced to ash. Officials concluded that the children had perished in the flames, but their remains were never found. In a typical fire, even of high intensity, bones do not completely disintegrate. The fact that no remains were recovered is highly unusual. As the Sodders sifted through the rubble, they discovered peculiar details. A strange object resembling a pineapple bomb was found in the yard. Witnesses reported seeing a man watching the Sodder home just days before the fire. George and Jenny became convinced that their children hadn't died in the fire, but had been kidnapped. Despite years of searching, the Sodders' questions were met with silence, contradictions, and even threats. Theories ranged from mafia involvement to a deeper conspiracy tied to George's political enemies. A variety of sightings were reported from Florida to New York, but none led to answers. This photograph, mailed in 1967, reignited the mystery. On the back was a cryptic message claiming to show the children as adults, but the question remains, was it them? This case is like quicksand. The more you dig, the stranger it gets. There are too many odd, unexplained details to dismiss it as just a tragic accident. Decades have passed, but the disappearance of the Sodder children continues to haunt and mystify. Their surviving siblings refuse to surrender to time, holding on to the hope that one day the truth will emerge. The Sodders' story is one of love, loss, and an enduring quest for answers. All we're left with are questions. What really happened that Christmas Eve? The answer, it seems, is as elusive as the smoke that engulfed their home and their lives. If you have any information regarding the Sodder children's disappearance, please contact your local authorities. This mystery deserves closure.